Hello, welcome back to the RC Pilot's Log. My name's Rob. Please excuse my attire, it's very cold out here today. This video is going to be somewhat of an unboxing / build video and review of this SLEC Flight Box Kit. I ordered this yesterday from Pegasus Models and I've needed a flight box for some time. I'm getting frustrated by going up to the flying field, carrying all of this clobber in a toolbox with a load of tools and having to root through everything and being generally disorganised. I've also bought a JP Power Pro MOSFET powered power bank to drive my starter motor, and also to charge and directly charge my glow drivers. I've been using this remote starter for a while, this battery starter for a while, and it just runs flat very quickly, and I'm never quite sure it's fully charged. So I'm looking forward to being able to just plug in straight into this big battery here and have all the power I need. So it's come with a good selection of crocodile clips and bullet clips here that I can crimp and solder onto all of my accessories, like my fuel pump and starter, and of course the glow driver here, which has already got bullet connectors on. They'll be very useful and a very good selection there. There looks like there's at least 2 of each type of connection: crocodile bullet and smaller bullets. And then we've got the power panel itself, which is a very nice kind of brushed aluminium finish on that, and comes in a nice protective tray, which obviously will be used to mount it. That looks like a very good quality unit there. Nice positive feel to the switches, and a reasonable feel to the potentiometer for current adjustment there. So that looks very good. And then underneath there we've got some instructions, which tells us all about the inputs and outputs and how to install it. So that's the JP Power Pro MOSFET IC solid state power panel. Quite a mouthful. I've also purchased this JP lock-on steel glow plug driver, and that's really just going to be a great upgrade for me from this battery powered one, which, like I said, I'm always unsure if it's charged. It always seems to hold a really good charge and then run out just when I need it to. So to be able to drive directly from this big battery and know how much current I'm drawing is going to be a real positive for me, and save me that embarrassing moment where you always have to ask around. And glow is becoming less used, so less people generally have equipment at the field to help you out. So self-sufficiency is one of the goals here. So we've got some very simple instructions here with a set of pictures, and it looks like 16 steps on the instructions, so hopefully this will go together quite quickly. Comes with a nice big sticker, SLEC sticker, and 2 smaller ones, and then we're into the product itself. 6mm NDF, and it's obviously been CNC cut. We have grooves in each of the parts. I'm going to use the parts list on the back of the instructions to lay it all out and check we have all the relevant parts. Okay, so as I follow along with the instructions here, I'm just going to remove the fluffing furry edges of each part as I go. There's not a lot, a few of them have it, and just a simple swipe with, that's some 150 grit paper there, one swipe along the edge cleans them up really nicely. So I do have concerns over the size of my battery for this. I do have a smaller motorcycle battery that I can fit in, but one of the first steps is to lay out your battery, and it looks like I might just about fit that in. It is a big battery, probably overkill, but I've had it a while. It's a really decent battery, 22 amp hour. That will give me plenty of starting and flights all day long. So with the dry assembly complete, which is relatively painless, just follow along with the instructions. It's important to ensure you get the grooves the right way around, get all the panels orientated correctly, and just use some 150 grit to remove the furry edges. It goes together quite well. It will need some clamping just to hold a few panels in place. But I have discovered that the battery I had intended to use, the bigger version of this, is too large and won't allow the power panel hatch to fit over. So what I intend to do is swap for the smaller 6 amp hour battery and use this instead. It's a motorcycle battery, so it's gel, and it will be able to go on its side to fit in quite nicely there. It does depend, however, on the depth and the profile of the power panel, and I'll get to that in a minute. But for now, I'm happy to go ahead and start assembling this using just some Gorilla wood glue, G3 wood glue I've got here, and some clamps. So let's get that underway. Okay, I've got the bulk of the construction done now, and it's all slotted together quite nicely. Used all the clamps I've got that will be suitable for this size to hold it together, and I've dropped the battery in there. Had to make a slight adjustment to the positioning of these blocks to hold the battery in place, and that's nice and snug. I just had to trim a little bit off the end of this one because it was just overlapping that lip on the battery, but that's worked out quite nicely, and I've got no real concerns about that at all. We've jumped forward 2 days, and I've given the flight box a couple of good coats of a white gloss, and I'm going to finish it in a polyurethane clear coat, which will be fuel proof. So that's just drying off nicely. I mean, it's pretty dry now, but I've had a fan heater on just to speed things up. Meanwhile, I've soldered on the banana connectors, the bullet connectors for the starter, and also for the glow driver. And with the fuel pump, I'm using this Turnigy fuel pump. It does come with circuitry inside to switch polarities and directions, but this one broke, so I removed the circuitry and I've just wired directly to the motor, which is convenient because on the power panel you switch polarity of the motor in and out here, so that will work perfectly. But what I'm going to do, rather than plug banana connectors in the pump section there, I'm actually going to solder the wires directly to the back of the PCB. If I can do this one-handed. You can see here these large solder lugs are for the pump 12 volt, so that one and that one there, those two. And I'm going to run, I've extended the wires on the pump, and they will run through the hole in the corner of the flight box there, through the back of the drawer, and I will mount the pump here. The pump will be plumbed into this cap that I've added a fuel filler to, epoxied that in, sealed the hole up with some epoxy. Again, that's just curing off, and then I can keep this on the bottle, a half-gallon bottle, and swap the bottles around when I run out, or refill the same bottle. So that cap will just mean that the unit is sealed still, and it has a little sealing plate should I unplug the pump from it. Bit of a mouthful. So that's progress. I realise this is probably getting quite a long video, so I may edit it down a fair bit on the construction side of stuff, but I'm fairly pleased. I think that's a reasonable finish. I'm not too worried about the inside here. That's for the battery. Obviously I've gone a little bit thicker on the paint around the fuel section, but it's the polyurethane lacquer that's going to seal it all off. And the handle wise, I've kept that wood, and I've started giving that a little bit of a lacquer, but I think that's going to make a really nice looking box. There is obviously the large SLEC sticker, and I think that will go on that side here. Yeah, the drawer is there as well. So that's progress. I think probably the next thing you'll see is when it's all together and operational. It's been a couple of days since I started filming the construction of this box and the painting of it, and I have just about finished. I have finished giving it a coat of Halford's heavy duty polyurethane lacquer. Now this lacquer is a very heavy, thick lacquer, and it's fuel proof, and it likes to run a lot because it goes on so heavy. It also slightly discolours, and you may not be able to pick it up in this light, but there is some yellowing on some of the surfaces where it's gone on heavier. I've tried a few times to sand that back and respray the lacquer to get it without the yellowing, but I'm just going to have to make do as it is. At the end of the day, it's a flight box for taking stuff to the field. It's going to get dirty, it's going to get knocked around. I like things to look nice. It looks okay. I could have done better. But I think we'll push on and get this assembled now. I need to install the battery and the power panel, run the fuel pump through, and get all that sorted. I have pre-drilled holes for the power panel, so I'm going to get that and the battery installed now. So it's been a busy week for me, but I have managed to finish the flight box and get it fully assembled and kitted out. I'm really pleased with what is a very cheap kit at £25. The SLEC Flight Box Kit goes together really nicely and is a great size, and fully kitted out like mine is. It's not too heavy and is not cumbersome. It fits just about enough stuff in for me, and the little drawer is really useful for your smaller screwdrivers, Allen wrenches, and I've even got my my taco in there. So there's still plenty of room as well to get a bit more in there. So I'm really pleased with the kit. My only thing that I would change would be to brush paint it, and probably in a darker colour, for two reasons. One, brush painting it's going to be a lot quicker than building up layers of spray paint and letting it dry and building more spray paint, and a darker colour is not going to show the discoloration of the several coats of the polyurethane lacquer, but it does say so on the can that it will discolour, so that is to be expected. But they're the only things I would change. I think it's a great little kit. Highly recommend it if you want to build a flight box. You don't want to spend a lot of money on the box itself. Then the SLEC Flight Box Kit is probably the right one for you. Just before I finish the video, if you haven't already seen, I'm running a giveaway to celebrate 10,000 followers on Instagram. The giveaway is being run on YouTube, and you can find the video for that, introducing that giveaway, just up here. I'm really excited about that giveaway, and I think you will be too, and I think you would do well to be a part of it. It's very simple. If you're already subscribed, then you are most of the way there. So watch the video to find out how you can be involved, and what we've got up for offer from Hobby King and Fly Sky. Thanks for watching, happy flying.